Tonight, Atlanta News First is uncovering fake job postings looking to take advantage of people trying to make extra cash this holiday season. Atlanta News First investigative reporter Anastasia Olmos tells us what to watch out for.
According to the Better Business Bureau's scam tracker, people are reporting these employment scams every day. Last year, the BBB saw a 54% increase in job scams, with people losing an average of $2,000. I found this report on the BBB scam tracker from someone in Georgia yesterday who said they were looking for a second job. The company emailed them to be a remote shipping assistant, starting salary of $3,500 a month with a potential of 30% increase after 3 months, benefits with no upfront costs, then asked for all of their personal information. The person said it sounded too good to be true, did some research, and found it was likely a scam. Too good to be true is one of the warning signs. Other things to look out for include employers. They will never ask for payment up front for things like job supplies, applications, or training fees. Be wary of job offers that don't require an interview. Companies will likely always talk to candidates before hiring them, and never work for a company before they hire you. Before doing any work, request an offer letter or written confirmation of what the job entails, including that official start date and compensation details. Now, we have a full list of tips as well as info on reporting these scams. That's on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. I'm Anastasia Olmos. Atlanta News First investigates.